This programming presentation is rated R.
We're talking real talk and real solutions.
This is Kella, the host of Tampa's newest radio talk show, Life Talks Radio, where you'll be highly inspired by real conversations about things that really matters to you. We will share expert insight and you'll be empowered beyond belief and walk away with real life solutions. Listen to Life Talks Radio, Tampa's newest radio talk show with me, Kella, Sundays, 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. on AM 1150 WTMP.
Hey, Life Talks Nation. This is Kella, your host of Life Talks with Kella. I am so excited for tape 2. This is our second one. I am so excited to be back on, but this time on YouTube as opposed to radio, because it just seems like it's just better when you can look at the people that's behind the microphone. You can watch our facial expressions. You can see it all and it's raw. A lot of it's unedited. So I love it. Welcome to another episode of Life Talks with Kella. Like I said, I'm your host. It's excited to be back. I have some guests today, men, ladies. So this is Norman. Norman is an entrepreneur. I've known him for a very long time. We worked in banking together. We both still have insurance license. He's in the industry, multiple businesses. It's just exciting to be around entrepreneur men that have some sense. This is Justin down here. And Justin is also a local entrepreneur here in Tampa. He owns an amazing event space. So if you're in the area, Brandon Valley, anywhere in that side of Tampa, it's an awesome space. You can pretty much rent it for any kind of venue for the most part. I'm going to a gun class at this venue. But you can rent it for any kind of venue, any kind of service, like any kind of venue. And it's an amazing space. You can make it as eclectic as you want, as formal as you want, whatever you want, you can get it at a space. So I am super excited to be talking about the holidays. Did you guys know that 40 million people are depressed during the holidays?
That's crazy.
That's like wow, because it's a time you're supposed to be around family. Yeah. But the other part about it was a lot of them were depressed because they're single during the holidays. Did you know that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Can you see that? So pretty much, I brought you guys on the show because, like I said, the holidays are a time when we're supposed to be with family. I mean, we're supposed to like have fun. Many people nowadays with divorces and deaths, untimely deaths, and separations or whatever, it's at a rapid pace. So there's going to be a lot of people that's single during the holidays. So I took to the show so people can hear what other people say about being, if they were ever single in the holidays, or if they had a time that they were single in the holidays, and how they cope with being single in the holidays at one time. I mean, I can tell them what I'm going to do. I told them on show 1, but I wanted to talk to men with level heads, men that, run businesses, they're busy. Listen, these two are amazing fathers. You hear me? I'm talking about amazing. You have to follow, when they give you their social handles for their businesses to follow, you have to watch how amazing they are with their kids. You don't see it every day, but these two, and they black men that love their children. So, Norman, have you ever had a time that you were single and had to cope with the holidays? I mean, like, deal with the fact that you're single and did it have an effect on you? Talk about that.
I mean, to me, it's just many things you can do. I mean, like you said, now I have a kid. So my son is, I'm not every other weekend father. I have my son, I have a custody grandson, my son quite a bit all the time. It's doing weekday, weekends, so I mean, that's my focus now. I think even before, because when he was born, it basically changed my whole life. It can change your whole life and onset on life. But I just think that if you don't have that outlet, there's so many other things you can do. I mean, people out here need help. There are people that are less fortunate. I mean, go down to homeless shelters, you see it. I've taken my son down to a homeless shelter before, and he was blown away, because sometimes children need to understand that, you're really blessed with what you have. So sometimes you need to see that. A lot of people don't have the things that we have. And a lot of times, especially this day and time, a lot of people complain about what they have, pretty much not what they have, but what they don't have. And there's people out here worse off than you are. There's people, in hospitals that, they don't have family, they don't have a friend, they don't have anybody to come to. So there's plenty of things you can do. You can help out in your church. You can help out in the community. There's tons of things you can do. You know, I've done those things. I've also, you know, you have adult athletic groups that you can play in. That those guys, a lot of times, I was in an adult baseball league for years. And those guys, still to this day, I mean, it's like family. So I still reach out to them. But there are several things you can do instead of sitting around, you know, to me being depressed. Like, you know, my whole saying is that there's always someone out here worse off than you are. And, you know, you're sitting and complaining about your situation, but the next person, their situation is worse than yours. So me, myself, I really don't have time to really sit around and really complain or be, you know, down or any of that, because I always looked at that, you know, even growing up with both of my folks, they really taught me and showed. We used to give food to the homeless during the holidays. We used to, you know, there was a family we used to buy gifts for Christmas. There's a ton of things you can do instead of sitting around complaining about what you don't have, or complaining about, you know, not having someone. A person does not complete you. They don't make you happy. You have to be happy within yourself. And a lot of the issues is a lot of people are getting into relationships and they're not happy in the first place. They're looking for someone to seek to make them happy. And you can't, if you come into a relationship or situation and you're not happy with yourself, then how are you going to make somebody else happy? You're just going to pull that person down.
Right.
So that's my perspective on it.
Because, I mean, I find it, I mean, the numbers are a stuff. 40 million people, according to Red Book Magazine. I mean, I've cited them. That it's 40 million people that battle anxiety, and 17 million of them are facing depression during labeling it as during the holidays. But I think I heard you say something that makes me think they were already unhappy. Holidays just added, you know, the stress of shopping, the stress.
But what are you unhappy about? What is it that because you don't have somebody? Somebody doesn't make you happy. If not, if that, they can make you miserable. That's why most people are single or most people are divorced. You know, we live in a microwave society. And unfortunately, like I was saying earlier, people do not pour into each other. My folks been married 51 years. If you
51
years, going on 50.
51 years, Norman?
If you're involved with somebody and they're not pouring into you, you're dead in the water. You know, I see it time and time and again. How many people, ladies, you're sleeping with a man and you know he's not the person for you? That voice in the back of your head, that's God telling you he's not for you. So why you continue to sit there and continue to do the same thing, get the same results? If you're broke, why do you continue to do the same things? If you're not happy with life, why do you continue to do the same things? So you continue to do the same things, you get the same results. And you can go to church and do whatever you do or pray to whoever you pray to, but if you're not doing something to make change or make strides in your life, you're never going to succeed.
But loneliness, I mean, I think that's the big reason why people probably stay in situations, or they get into a relationship or whatever it may be around the holidays. I mean, I don't know if they make it up for the holidays.
So you just get a cuddly buddy?
Get a cuddle. I saw on Facebook where people get paid to cuddle. They get paid, I think it was $65 an hour.
Yeah, true story.
Right? So, I mean, shoot. I mean, that's a business. So,
I need no cuddly buddy.
I mean,
if it ain't making me no money, I really don't care.
But $65 an hour?
Because relationships, like my father has told me over and over again, they take work. If you're not prepared to put in the work, don't get in a relationship. Because a relationship and anything in life, if you're not ready to put in work, you can forget it. It's never gonna succeed. So that's my take in a business and work and finances. You know, if you're trying to buy a house, you got bad credit, how you gonna ever buy a house? How you gonna ever get a car? How you gonna ever get on those things? You know, if you're not happy in a situation, how are you gonna make somebody else happy? So why are you going around trying to find someone to make you happy? It's a disaster. It's a disaster at its best.
So you're thinking it's more so, it's not about the holiday as much. You're thinking
people just are not happy in general. So me, from my perspective, what I have learned in my time on this planet is that if a person is not happy, I stay away from them. They're not whole within themselves. They don't have their stuff together. Why am I wasting my time with you?
But I mean, 40 million people, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. But again,
there's
but we live in a microwave society. So again, if you really think about it, I grew up in the late 70s, 80s. So, and I'm gonna let him speak, but I'm just gonna leave with this. A lot of people don't really understand the perspective of what the system in this country has done to us mentally. President Gerald Ford changed the way the government system took care of children. Before the late 1970s, men worked and they took care of their wives and their children. But when men would leave their spouses, the government stepped in and took care of their children with welfare. Gerald Ford ended welfare and said, no, we're going to start making men pay women child support to take care of their children. So when you do that, and I've spoken to several people, I've seen a lot, and again, it's not everybody, so I'm not downgrading anybody. But I have actually heard and talked to women who have definitely said that they look for relationships for a paycheck.
They look for a relationship for a paycheck?
Yes, they're looking for someone that's at a higher level than them, and we see it all the time around here. They're dating a guy because he makes X amount of dollars. So it's a revolving circle when you teach a society that you should, that if you marry a gentleman or if you have a child by this man, it's just like these pro athletes. They go after these pro athletes. They have children with them. They're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to take care of their child, and they're taking care of them. Now, they should take care of their children, but at the same token, I know women that were born and raised to actually think that process. It's your thought process. So my folks and their predecessors, they grew up with the mindset because most of them didn't come from anything. They didn't have anything. Now women are educated now. Women have their own money. I know tons of women who have money who actually live in Atlanta, Georgia, and California, have their own money, and they're just looking for a cuddly buddy. They're not looking cuddly buddy or cuddly buddy, whatever.
Cuddly buddy. $65 an hour.
That's all they're looking for. So they're not looking to settle down with someone.
Yeah.
So when you start, teaching society certain things, that hey, you need to date this person based on how much money they have, you're never going to be happy. You don't love that guy, you don't love her. You love what they can do for you.
So maybe if that's in that number of people around the holidays, you start equating, well, I don't have a family. All I have is cuddle buddies, and I have no relationship, and maybe that could be
when you have friends, and then you have you develop friendships with other people. You do various things. Like I said, you have to find your own outlet.
Yeah.
What bothers me may not bother him. What bothers him may bother me. Or same thing with your case. It just depends on it's your priorities and what you like in life.
Yeah, but during the holidays, I just feel like it's the time for family. It's the time for friends. It's the time. It's the time for you. You reflect the whole year just went by, and during the holidays, I'm sure there's something you could be grateful for, something you could be thankful for. But it's just good to be able to hear from other people what they do during the holidays. Hopefully, if you're watching and you are one of those people that's depressed during the holidays, hopefully by the end of Life Talks with Kella, take 1, take 2, between me, Norman, and Justin, you find a why not to be depressed during the holidays.
I'll tell you why not to be depressed. Go to Tampa General. Go to Martha Cancer Center to see someone dying from cancer.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen someone dying from AIDS?
That'll
give you a reality check.
Go to
talk to someone that lives on the street corner that has mental issues and can't get a job, and they're homeless because they have mental issues. Go talk to those type of people. Then you'll understand
why you don't have to be depressed.
Why you don't have to. That would make you real quickly think of why you should be depressed.
Yeah, and that's what Life Talks with Kella is about. So Justin.
Yes.
What about you? Have you ever experienced, the raw emotion or whatever that comes with being single during the holidays? Have you ever been single during the holidays?
Yes. I think it's a give and take. I can see both, points that he was making. And I feel like personally, it's society that makes you feel certain ways about holidays.
Right.
Me personally, I'm secure in myself, so I can be alone for holidays. And I think we're getting away from what it really means. It's not about, you being around a spouse. It's not around, about you being in a relationship. It's just about, pleasing other people as far as, maybe doing something for someone else less fortunate, and things of that nature. And I think, the world we live in is like a Amazon Prime effect. You just expect something to come in like the next day. People don't want to, work on building, something. So,
Right.
yeah, that's how I agree with the microwave situation, because I can, see that. But me personally, it doesn't bother me at all. That's less people to buy stuff for.
Right. I mean, hey, let's be cheap. I think you're trying to be cheap.
Right.
So, but seriously though, during the holidays, like I said, there's the numbers are speaking for themselves.
Yeah.
Like I see people, I've met people. Part of the reason why I have chosen to be a part of Life Talk, or to do Life Talks with Kella, like I said, I was on Life Talks radio before on WTMP. I find that in my life for the last 24 years, I've been in mortgage, real estate, underwriting, compliance, ministry. I've seen it all, and I've seen how life has beat people up. Relationship talks is one of those things. Life talks is one of those things. Life has beat people up pretty bad. So when you don't have a person to share, I guess the different transitions in life as you navigate, particularly women, I think there's a need of someone else to not validate you, but
Fill that void.
to help you fill the void, or to help you feel like, just to hear somebody say, it's gonna be okay. Like, I got you. I'm here for you. That exchange. Maybe that, along with the stress of having to buy for 1,000 people, having children, having to do all these things, maybe that coupled with all of that is part of the reason why so many people are depressed. I wish they would have went through and said how many other people are men. Because from what I've learned in the last 2 days, men are not as bothered as women are about being single during the holidays. So I don't know if that's because they got a couple here, a couple there, cut buddy, side chick, swatch, whatever you call it today, that over in the corner, or is they're just not that connected to that emotion? Like, is it just not there? Because for me, I've been single for a lot of years during the holidays. Either it was off, on, off. But I love being selfish during the holidays. That's when I take off. I'm not doing much work. I'm down at the mall, which that's not good because I shouldn't be. Or I'm down doing something that I want to do. Like, I'm doing what I want to do. Like, I don't care who calls with whatever. I really shut down and I do me. But that's what I do. But then when that's old or I'm broke, I decide to go make other people's holiday. You know what I mean? So, and then I think losing someone significant, whether it's a husband or a wife or a mother or a father, that also plays a role into why people are depressed too. Like, it's not just I don't have my significant other, it's I don't have my significant other and I may not have a spouse either. So you see how alone you are in life when that happens. What do you think about what I just said? I know women have a lot of words. We got to get out 80,000 words a day. Just so y'all know, that's homework. Listen, women have to get out about 80,000 words a day. That's just
why are women so single nowadays, though?
Why are we single?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of choices. Justin.
Why not?
If you,
There are choices.
Right.
The guy that really would be good for you, you overlook him. Maybe not you, but a lot of them do, because he don't drive a Porsche or some
Who
of that
cares?
stuff. But I'm just saying, these are the things that I've seen, and I've never seen a society that's so materialistic and formulated around finances.
Yeah.
There's no love anymore.
Right.
so, but I think
Just
men in the reverse. Okay, so women
But not
like
all- but not all-
materialistic
but not
stuff,
all- But not all men are necessarily like that.
but men like plastic.
Well,
Plastic what?
Plastic.
Plastic butt, plastic
I'm good,
boobs,
I'm good.
plastic hips,
Don't need none of that.
plastic legs, plastic.
Plastic get
They
hard.
like
That thing break on you. That thing.
it's gotta
You gotta
be.
smack that thing. Single.
Right.
What?
I mean,
No,
it's
I don't need
almost-
none of that.
I almost feel like some men, you're not.
No, I mean, when you're in your 20s and 30s, you think differently versus when you hit 40, all of that stuff really starts to not really matter. It really doesn't. At the end of the day, like I said, you want someone to pour into you. I've never had no one to pour into me. And never. And that's why I'm single. And I refuse to sit here and settle for someone and lower my standards and be miserable. Why? Why would I do that? Just to have somebody? No. Like he said, I'm self-made. It'd be great to have somebody, but if I don't have nobody, I'm like, geez, I ain't got to worry about anybody.
But I think there's a lot of women out there that's not like selfish or that's not looking for me.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
what
checking.
I've run into for myself is that they want to control and dictate. No, you got 1 second. Then the main thing that I've experienced is people do not know how to talk to each other.
People don't like to talk. Men don't. Men
No, I ain't talking about that.
don't
I'm
like
talking
to
about
talk.
how you speak to someone.
Have you been,
speak to someone.
Go ahead.
No, good.
Oh.
No, I'm saying, but how you speak to someone, that can play a huge role in any situation. I've never heard my mother put my father down. I've never heard my father put my mother down.
Right.
Never. 51 years, never. No, not in that house. No, because it's a respect thing.
Right.
Now people don't respect each other. They just don't care. I saw a couple the other day arguing at 11 o'clock at night. I was like, oh my God. I just put my head down, got my stuff out of my car, and I went in the house. And this is where I live, in the parking garage. I was like, wow. And I said to myself, that's why I'm glad I'm single.
And that might be the world we live in nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, people,
So people don't want to be married?
No, it's
people
just no respect.
It's
anymore.
no respect anymore. And it's all about what you can do for me. No, I'm over here taking care of my child. That's my priority. Even you will come here and add. If not, no, we ain't doing this. I'm not going to do what you want me to do. You're not going to change me. I've heard this saying all the time. This is the funniest thing. You know, I'm going to change him to be the man that I want him to be.
Who?
I've heard.
Change an adult man?
Yes, I've heard. Oh, I'm going to change her to be the woman that I want her to be. Are you insane?
But I have heard men,
waste-
you get different results. Different men or different women bring out different results in the individual. And I think to a degree that's true. Because I met one guy in my whole entire life. I met one that after watching them, they didn't say, hey, you need to change this, you need to change that. Just watching them, I realized, oh my God, girl, you horrible with money. You spend way too much money. Or I realized, oh my God, you don't pay attention to how much you don't drink water or how much you're not paying attention to diet and exercise. Then I realized, oh my gosh, how much of a, maybe you're a social butterfly too much. Like maybe you out, that's what they called it, but it's networking for me. I don't have to be anywhere. Right. But I realized introspection was important, even more so than what I already did. It was important not to be impressive, but it's just like, wow, they made me want to be different. In certain areas. So
yeah, they can improve your search, but the same token, it comes down to you have a pitcher of water. She has a glass, he has a glass. They both take turns pouring into each other. Have you ever poured in someone's glass and they stop pouring into yours? You gonna leave?
Well, not really. Maybe they don't have anything to pour that season.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the mental aspects. I'm talking about every capacity of it. See, me, it's the mental thing with me of what, why.
But nobody can be perfect, though.
No, I'm talking.
You looking for somebody to, you know what I'm saying?
Wait on Jesus.
No, I'm not talking about perfect. I'm talking about
water and
seriously,
water
but that's really what it really is. Yeah. That's really what it is. If you're in a relationship with someone and you're not putting into someone and they're not putting into you, where is it going? Nowhere. You can't keep him with sex. It's not going to work.
Well, I would hope that people,
if you think you're going to keep him with sex, you're going to be 60 years old swinging around the pole. You might as well put that pole in your room, darling. Because that's how you get, this is what my grandparents told me. How you get someone is how you're going to keep them. So whatever you start in the beginning is what you're going to keep them with.
So I guess
marriage and relationships is really, it's not just communication, all that good stuff. It's what can you live with.
Yeah, but you know what? One of my friends, Becky, she said, when a man in this day and age, when a man chooses to marry you, that means that you're the one he's just gonna cheat on for the rest of his life.
Whoa.
No,
If you go into perspective, if you go into a game, you thinking you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose.
But what about that? Because when you look at a lot of the
I wanted the Bucks
today,
going to their games thinking they're gonna lose. We're gonna lose this game.
No, but
so they lose.
But think about what she said. She said, "Hey, no Bucks back. Wait a minute.
No, that's my team.
I didn't give the ground rules
The Bucks my team.
Yes, right, because we from
Bucks my
Tampa.
team.
But what I'm saying is that
Before
what
you
she
got a
said
fan,
is, you got to look at that, because what she said is basically what she's seen from her observation. When men marry women, that's just a woman that he realized he could just cheat on for the rest of his life, but keep her while he's doing all this cheating. What do you think about that? Because y'all hadn't said it yet, but that's the real reason we were out here
No, that's
single.
not
We
true.
not want to put up with all that.
No.
We just don't want to deal with the cheating. I believe that's the main
Cheating is
reason.
too much work. Who got time for all that?
Somebody who want to cheat.
I ain't got time for all too much work.
Somebody who needs a
I'm too
variety in
tired.
their life.
I've always been too tired, so much work. I don't see the point of it.
So what about you, Justin?
Well, I'm saying if I'm going to commit myself to someone, then I don't see the
Right,
point
everybody got
of,
time for all that.
you know,
So much.
going out there doing it. But from what I've seen, like DC and Chicago, like places like that, the conversation's different with women.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
New York,
different.
too.
It's different.
Jersey, too.
So like, you know, when I'm in Florida and I try to talk to someone, it's there's no context behind the conversation.
Right.
And I'm not saying with all Florida people,
Right.
but when I go to DC, Chicago, New York,
LA.
it's like life. It's like a plan. It's like a future. It's like goals behind it. If I'm in Tampa, I'm from Tampa. I might as well say it. I'm
Right.
from Delaware, but I moved here when I was 9, so I'm from Tampa.
You from Tampa?
You know, I still have my up north vibe, but I have my Florida like hoodness. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay.
So I like a little bit of both. But
DC there.
oh, dude. So when I go to DC or Chicago, man, I can have a great conversation. I can buy a girl a drink without them thinking I'm trying to get a little butt.
Okay.
You know, the conversation, we can call each other, hey, you want to go here, you want to go here, you want to go here? Sure, you know. But in Tampa, you know, you try to meet someone, you try to, you know, court them, you try to take them to dinner or whoop-de-whoop. It doesn't go nowhere further than that, you know, and there's no conversation about businesses, how we're going to build each other, you know.
Yep.
But it just dies with dinner and drinks. There's nothing beyond that.
So do you think it's in the water? Because the women would say, don't they run from a Tampa man? Because it's not going to go anywhere. There's
Well,
no depth.
I'm not
There's
from
no
Tampa.
substance. No, but I mean, do you think it's in the water? Because they'll say.
No, it's
think
just
it's
the
a-
mindset and the
yeah.
mentality. That's what it is.
So the men and the women from, and we talk Life Talks. We talking about Tampa right now, but I'm sure it's in every state. This is not just
Yeah, I
a
get
Tampa,
told. I'm
Florida
from
show.
Northern VA. I get told this in Virginia. I get told the same thing to a certain extent. I mean, but like he said, whenever I go home to DC, I'd be like, oh my God, you know. I remember I was taken to a club that was on the water in Georgetown. I saw a boat with 8 women that were AKAs driving a boat, and they got out of the boat. It was the sexiest thing I've ever seen.
Right.
I know it's AKAs because they had AKA flag on it, like black women driving a boat on the Potomac.
Right.
Like, you know, and then like if you go to Chicago or New York or New Jersey or California.